Hey everybody, you're watching Cole the Corn Star. Pull up, pedal metal on. Oh no, we're not going in the car. We're not going in the car, we're going in the building. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is that? Today's video is sponsored by Simplisafe. There's no safe like Simplisafe. Must have got a little bit of rain last night. It's actually pretty soggy right now. I had to take down my rain gauge. I don't know how much we got, but I'd say a decent amount. Billy. Hey, what are you doing? You want to meet Brown Dog? You want to meet Brown Dog? Good girl, Brownie. She's like, can I ride it? Hey, Brownie, it's okay. It's okay. Brownie. Careful, it's a baby. It's a baby. Hey, Brownie. Today is just Cooper and I. Dad has to go run off and do his pesticides meeting. So his training classes he has to do once a year to keep current with his license. But Cooper and I are in the heated shop at my house. We are sorting through all of this stuff and all the stuff over there. And we're just getting rid of the junk and then all of our 10 gajillion pounds of nails and stuff that we will never use. And the nice rusty ones. How do we want to start?
I'm just going through these shelves, really. A lot of these sockets I don't know we're going to use them.
Today's going to be kind of one of those days where you just look at an item and you have to make a decision, keep it or not. We're going to err on the side of not keeping it because all of this stuff here, I organized this here a couple years ago and it's been sitting in here years before that in big piles and we literally never use it. You may be coming and grab like a nail randomly or a screw. But we want to get this shop nice and efficient and smooth, so we figured the time savings that we're gonna have over this trumps the potentially $37 worth of materials that we may use down the road. A couple hours in, we got a whole skid loader bucket full, and then that's our trash pile. How's it looking?
I really don't notice any difference yet.
Don't hoard.
It's looking good.
Oh, this is from that auction, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My grandpa bought it for $200, and it was a whole pickup full and a trailer
That's
full.
horrible. No, it's looking good. Tell me there's good room in here.
Oh, you getting excited, Brown Dog? You getting excited? Oh, you're like a 90-pound bullet just coming right at me right now, aren't you? What was that? Your head weighs like 20 pounds alone. I know it doesn't look like it, but Cooper and I have spent 5 hours organizing all of this stuff through here, and it looks so much better. We just consolidated a bunch of stuff. If anything was questionable, we just got rid of it. But I know to you, it smells like whatever the environment you're in right now. So if you're in your living room, it smells like your living room. If you're in your bedroom, it smells like your bedroom. If you're in your truck or your car or your semi or your tractor or wherever, it smells like that. But right here it smells like mouse urine and mouse feces and a lot of dust. Just look at the surface of this bench. That is all mouse feces. That is absolutely disgusting. And Brownie, you put your nose right in it. This whole bolt rack is completely full of mouse feces. I don't know how well you can see into there, but it is disgusting. The shelf is full of mouse feces. We want to keep all these tools, so we kind of separated them on the side. There's just been so much stuff sitting over there and sitting on the floor 5 feet out from the wall all the way down the building for so long. It's just become such a haven for mice in here because it's nice and warm. They can get out of the weather. They have food because there's plenty of little like grass seed and oats, and they find a bag like this, they tear into it, bam, they have a meal for months or years and Probably a lifetime for a mouse. See, like right there, you can tell where they've just been eating out of that. That's gross. You might as well just call me the anti-mouse, anti-rat kind of guy, because my vision for the shop is to get everything completely off the floor. I want a stand-up shop. I want stuff hanging on the walls. In my bench, I want a fold-up bench that we can put on the wall, so when we're not using it, like when it's completely empty, it just goes right up, then we have plenty of room. But more importantly, that makes it so they do not have a spot on the floor where they can nest. Brownie, I wanted to bend over there, but you kind of got in the way. And why did you flinch when I pet you in the head? I've never bonked you in the head at all. Want to see how to make Brownie sad instantly? Kennel. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, we're not going in the kennel. We're going for a walk. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Here's the next step in the plan to get rid of all the mouse droppings over here. I'm going to get a broom. We're going to go under there. We're going to clean all that out. And then we're going to use this vacuum cleaner. We're going to clean off the whole bench. We're going to clean off all these little cubbies of this bolt rack, clean off all these shelves. And I'm hoping that helps with the smell. Oh, brown dog, why are you so brown? You ate a lot of Tootsie Rolls when you were a puppy. What we're gonna do, we're gonna set this big shelf down on the ground. We're gonna bring it outside. We're gonna dump it out because there's a lot of mouse poop in there. Does that sound good? You know how me set it down? Can you do that? Can I hand it to you? All right, you're up. I almost forgot to mention that I did this. Check this out. One plug-in right here. Look at this. Boom, all the lights. Found a cord we had hiding out here that had a 4-thinger on it, so we, coiled it up nice. And then all the extension cords that we were running right in front of this, and we had to plug in to these 2 outlets, plus one of those outlets over there, and it was just kind of a big mess. Now we got everything consolidated. Hey, that worked! My 2x4s held the bucket up overnight, so that way it didn't come out here in the morning and the hydraulic seat and all this ends up on the ground. We're gonna take a break from cleaning for a minute. Just got a call. Levi's pulling in. He's taking a load of corn up. Then I guess Cody is gonna be following up right after him. Oh, Leroy! Levi. I need the word of the day.
Good word of the day?
Appropriate word of the day.
I don't know.
Gotta go way up there. Been mastering the one-handed ladder maneuver for a long time. I tried getting a contract with OSHA on it, but they weren't the biggest fans. You can keep going, We'll go right there. This trailer's got extremely tall sides.
Yeah, I think it's like 78 tall, I think.
There's Cody. Whoa, we got old 4 miles to the gallon. Look at that. That's what 4 gallons per mile, 4 miles per gallon looks like. We have ourselves a load. I would not be surprised if there's 2,000 pounds sitting in this bucket right now. There is a lot of nails and old screws and bolts. Don't worry, we kept all the good ones. I even found this thing full of grade 8 bolts last night. It was mixed in with a big bunch of junk ones, but we separated them. Ellie, you are sure a noisy little thing. You're a noisy little thing. And you don't like that I left you up there, do ya? Do ya? Lost track of time just as Levi was pulling out. The guy pulled in. We ordered a snowblower for the front of the skid loader, so got that bad boy delivered. Looks good. And now Cody's back for another load of corn. It's a little messy inside, yeah, because we got a bunch of rain and it's super sloppy out, so we got some stuff that needs to be transferred to other buildings, but I'm just kind of waiting until it dries up a little bit. But right inside the door, this needs to go down to the main heated shop. This is 1540 oil. It's for the tractors. We'll get that out of here. This stuff is going in the shed right there, and then that's trash. This is gonna go on the sprayer trailer. This is gonna go over to Cooper's house, and that needs to go to the main heated shop. And that needs to go to the big machine shed, and that is going in that building, and then that generator is going to the 40 by 80 to the north. Otherwise, look at that. We're gonna consolidate our grass seed into some totes that mice can't get into, because otherwise they chew holes in that and then make a big old mess. We're just gonna start our way in the back. We'll give it a little tour here. All right, guys, it's 2022. If you don't have a security system for your home or your business, what are you waiting for? I've been using Simplisafe to protect my farm and my home for over the last year. I use it for everything. Who's at the bin side? Is someone in the dryer shack? Did I leave my light on in the kitchen? Is there a vehicle sitting in the driveway? It starts at less than $1 a day, and there's no long-term contract, so you can start or stop at any time, and there's no hidden fees. My favorite thing about Simplisafe is they offer 24/7 professional monitoring, and it's now powered by Fast Protect. So if I'm sleeping or traveling, I can be rest assured if something goes on any of my properties, help is going to be sent on the way automatically. Go online, take a 60-second quiz, and then have it delivered to the front door. No service technician, no appointments, no nothing. Just
follow the instructions in the Simplisafe app to get started.
Just like that, we have 24/7 protection.
Simplisafe on. Home.
Save up to 20% off your Simplisafe security system when you sign up for interactive monitoring. Visit simplisafe.com/Cole to customize yours. My lawn chair collection, I'm back here by the metal brake. Under the sprayer, it actually works as a pretty good storage unit for the quads and the motorcycles, dirt bikes. We got the workout facility here with the generators wide open and exposed, so if we ever need them, we can just roll them right up through the center alley. I have discovered that this building has a couple leaks in the roof. This is one of them, somewhere right above. I don't know, I think water runs down that rafter somewhere and then it ends up dropping here, so I don't know exactly where the hole's at. I think we're gonna try to take the other sprayer and put that somewhere up in here. Might have to move the arm wrestling table up into that slot a little bit, kind of slide stuff forward. Inside these boxes is a radiant tube heater. So we're going to be replacing that forced air furnace. We're going to be putting this up instead. So it's going to run right down the length of the building, and then that's going to heat the objects inside of here. So that will be the new heating system. I did just get done talking to the material people. So I'm going to get 10 ordered for the inside of this, and then all the 2x4s and stuff will get this framed up. That way we'll be able to finish the inside of this building out. And then my idea is I do not want anything along this wall whatsoever. The only thing that's going to have anything is over here. We're going to have a bench. We're going to have one toolbox. We have a big toolbox on the other side of that wall in the big machine shed. That's going to be in here. That's going to just have our tools in it. And then we're going to have a hang-up set of wrenches and all that kind of stuff. So our tools are going to be on a vertical display, just hanging up on the wall. And then in this corner here, I want to utilize it with the big library shelves that we have. The ones that are hiding back there. See those ladders? That's how you get up there, you know, like in a library where they climb the ladder. And then up on top of that scaffolding. That's what's sitting up there is the racking. But I want to put that right here in this corner and then extend that out over this panel. So then this will all be open underneath, but then we'll probably mount the air compressor way up there so it's off the ground, and then we don't have to wire it very far. So when it's all said and done, we'll have all our charging stations, and then just if we have to store some, you know, random stuff, grass seed, you know, that kind of thing. I don't want this to be a storage facility. I want this to be a shop. So we're just going to have useful tools in here. If it's any other type of storage item, we're going to have a different home for it. Kind of like maybe some of these shovels and stuff, it's going to go over in the tool shed or the old oil shed, because that does not need to be in here. And when you have 55 shovels, they end up taking a lot more room up than you'd like them to. So having that building for that, that's what it's going to be used for. In my head, I don't want anything past probably about right here. So this is just going to be the actual physical working tool area. And then everything else, there's going to be nothing on the floor all the way around. It's going to be nice and clean. I try to learn from other situations that we run through. And one thing I've noticed in all of our buildings, right inside the walk-in door always seems to become a catch-all for everything. And that's because when we have horizontal surfaces there, we pull in with our vehicles and we get out on the left side of the vehicle. You have something in your hands, you set it there, you get distracted, you forget about it. All of a sudden you have 3 months worth of mail and random stuff that was in a vehicle, or that you just didn't know what to do with at the time, but you didn't want it in your vehicle. So you set it there, and then it just keeps building, building, building. So my idea is I do not want to have anything around the whole building, especially this wall, for that reason. So that way it's just clean. You get out of the vehicle, you have something in your hands, you actually have to do something with it. Otherwise, you're gonna have to walk all the way around over to the other side to where the bench is located, but there's just gonna be one bench. So it's going to be pretty easy to sit through stuff if someone does end up doing that. But otherwise, it's kind of like setting your alarm clock all the way on the other side of your room. So then when you wake up in the morning, you have no choice but to get up and actually turn it off. And then you're already out of bed, where if it's right beside you, you can just keep snoozing it. From an efficiency standpoint, I want this shop to have all the working on capabilities that the main heated shop has. But I also want to use this shop as kind of a testing ground to try new things and to try to make the shop super efficient. And when we don't have as much stuff in here, we'll be able to really dial in on what we actually need. And then we'll be able to kind of take some of the things we learned from this shop, since nothing in here is really permanent yet, or once we get it finished out, nothing will be quite permanent. So, you know, we can try different configurations of stuff. So then when we get something nailed down really well, then we'll be able to take what we learned from this, we'll be able to pull that over and then put that in the main heated shop. This building was built in 2006. We actually had a 20,000 bushel pile of corn sitting right here where these totes are. When I was a little boy, we stored corn inside of here. And it wasn't finished, and it wasn't planned on being finished at the time. But then eventually it got insulated. We threw a door on it and stuff. And then the idea behind it was to have a nice little workspace over here to work on stuff. But it just kind of got filled with more or less junk. And it got to the point where you basically had, from the skid loader to the door on both bays here, you could get 2 vehicles in here. Maybe a tractor if you cleared some junk out and kind of stacked some stuff up on top of itself. But that's about it. So when it came to having to work on anything other than, you know, something you could do with a 9/16 wrench, we basically have to bring it down to the main heated shop. We never had a good air compressor over here. We never really had much of anything to actually do any big stuff. So the main heated shop is 3 miles from this location. Half of our farms are kind of over on this end, and then the other half are down by the main heated shop. So it's just really annoying when you had something break just down the road here and you had to just hike it an extra few miles than you needed to. It doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but when you're going 10 miles an hour or you're having to limp something or something breaks here and then you end up having to take it completely off and bringing it over there and just getting more people involved because you didn't have the capabilities here, it just adds up a lot more time and a lot more, hey, we need 2 people, we need 3 people to do this, and then it takes away from other people being able to get other jobs done, and it just slows down progression of what we're trying to do. And I know I'm always sounding super time stingy and everything, but time is something that we cannot get back. It is our most valuable resource, so I try to use my time to the biggest value that I can, and sometimes we use things that take a long time to learn stuff, and that's okay because we learn from it, and then we can use that information to leverage off other things, which saves us time. But sometimes you got to go through that to get to that point. But what I'm saying is this shop, by getting it done, it's just going to make the scalability of our farm so much easier, because if this is completely organized and everything is laid out really nicely, easy to find. Say we hire someone new to the farm and we say, all right, we need to get the oil changed and all these skid loaders and the sprayer and the fuel trailer. And they say, okay. Now in the past, they'd come in here and they'd be like, where's this, where's that, where's that, where's that? And then you're walking around with them or you're on the phone with them for an hour trying to help them find what they need to find. And then that takes you away from you being able to do other things. And then you just get frustrated because you're like, geez, I might as well have done that myself if I'm just helping them do the entire thing, and you're walking them through every little bit. And then this isn't here, that's not here. Oh, you got to go over here to get this. You got to go over here to get that. Hey, be careful when you turn that on because you got to flip this switch, that switch. And it's got to be in this right position. Otherwise, if you don't do that, it's going to arc and then it's going to blow the fuses. And then you're going to have to replace those. And they're $30 a piece. And then we have to go into town to get those. And then it just puts you further and further behind. So when this stuff is actually done right, it's going to allow us to scale through being able to employ leverage through other people by, hey, I can be going and working on this really important thing. While I'm doing that, you can be doing this, and you're not going to have any problems because just the bare minimum of what you need is there. It's super easy to find, and anybody can do it. So that's what we're trying to do. And it's a big learning process, and we're probably going to be reconfiguring this stuff a ton over time, but we have to start somewhere. Because usually we dead set in our mind that something is going to work phenomenally, and then we do it, execute on it, and then maybe we overlooked some stuff. And then you come in and make version 2, and then version 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think you always kind of keep learning from that, but eventually you find something that works really well. And then you stick with it. And then now you don't have to worry about that anymore. And then you jump to the next thing. And you keep doing that over and over. And then that's what allows us to really separate from the pack. Because if I can do something in 1 hour that takes someone else 4, or what someone else can do in 4, now I can do in 1, because we have the leverage to do it, then technically we can get 4 times as much done in a day as someone else. I also visited with the gentleman who epoxied the floor in the dryer shack and mom and dad's basement. They have scarifiers that can take these little ridges out of the floor. So years ago, when they poured this, it was a homemade pour. So you can see the ridges are not very equal with each other. And then they used a bowl float when it was a little soupy on top, and it's got all these ridges. And some of them are pretty good. And that was probably about a 1/4 inch or so. So when you're sliding along with a creeper and there's one of those every 2 feet, it's pretty much impossible. You catch on every little one of those seams. So I asked him if he could come in with their scarifiers and then smooth out the floor. And then also maybe give it a little bit smoother of a texture. Because right now, like it's pretty rough. Like if you have wet feet, you're definitely not slipping on this, which is nice for that. But what's not nice about it, it's so porous. If you go over this with a broom, you'll go over it and over it and over it and over it and over it. And every single time, you will keep pulling up new dirt. So they're gonna come look at it, see what we can get figured out. I don't know how that's gonna turn out. I don't know if they can even do that. I think they can. I hope they can. And so if they can, we're gonna have a whole new transformed floor in here. So new floor, smoothed out floor. Then we're gonna get the walls done. We'll get the knee wall there done. Get the ceiling done. We'll have to do new conduit. Well, actually, we don't have any conduit at all. We got some Romex wire going up to these front ones right now. And then everything else is literally an extension cord. Like this is an extension cord that just runs over these nails and it runs all the way to the back. So we have to plug in the lights in here. We don't have any light switches. I want to put another door opener on the other side of the door so you can open the door from both sides. I want to put nice air compressor up there in the corner, and then we'll plumb air all the way around the shop. And so probably every second pole, we won't need to go that much this size of building. We could probably do like 4 air hookups, or one dead center in the wall maybe, then 1 on each side, 1 over there. I don't know yet. We'll figure out where we want the air hookups, but then we'll probably do every 16 feet. We'll have an outlet. You can never have too many outlets. And we'll have a couple 220 hookups as well. That way we can weld through various spots throughout the shop. There's nothing worse than having a dead spot in the shop where you cannot get a welder to, because let's say we had our 220 outlet right there and we don't have enough cord to get, let's say, to the front tire of the sprayer to weld something up there. That's really annoying. I just want to make sure we have full access anywhere we're going throughout the shop with the welder, and then outlets, air hoses, all that kind of stuff. Got to make sure we got a good one down front. So if you pull something up outside, you got a semi outside, don't want to pull it in here, you can just wiggle it right around the door, get out in the driveway nice. If you got a flat tire in the disc, planter, just low, whatever, just go right outside the door. I think I can do most of the wiring myself. I've wired up a few light switches, and I did some of the lights down at the main heated shop when we did the conduit down there a few years ago. I don't know how to do the 220 stuff. I don't think it's that much different than regular wire, other than you have a lot more amps going through it, so it's a lot more dangerous. But if we got everything shut off right and got our testers and make sure, we're being safe about it, I think I can learn how to do it. Shouldn't be too hard. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there and books and resources and people who are way smarter than I am around it who are pretty good at teaching it. And if worse comes to worse, I have a couple friends that are electricians who can help. I've got some family members that are electricians who can come out, show me some pointers, maybe walk me through a little bit of stuff, show me what to do, what not to do. Sounds like a plan to me. Good learning opportunity. I'm kind of toying with my head, maybe down the road, eventually tearing out this wall and connecting it to the big machine shed. Then it'll form a big L. Because right now the big machine shed's here and we're in this building here and they don't connect. But if it made a big old L, then we'd be able to connect everything through, have one nice big heated shop. This could be kind of like a compartmentalized area for different things. You can maybe put a semi-lift in here or something. There's actually a gap between this wall and the big machine shed wall on the other side. That's like 8 feet wide. We could probably just put the pit right down in there, and then we'd have a pit to drive our semis over top of. That might actually work pretty well. You can't build the house without the foundation, so we're always trying to think, okay, what would the farm's needs be in 20 years, 40 years, 60 years from now? And if we can help kind of set that foundation for having a bigger house, so then down the road when we have the opportunity to grow into things, or we come across more opportunities, start doing more things, then that foundation is already there. So we may be spending a little more up front to do that, but it allows for so much more building growth on top of that. Versus down the road, you're like, oh man, that was too small. Then you got to do it twice, and then it's twice as expensive to do that. Versus maybe it was just 10% more the first time. So that's kind of our idea here. Just go overkill with it, give it any and every need that we think we're going to need for the next 20 years, or have the ability to have it tied right into it. And so if that stuff happens, we can just grow with it, and it's already there. So there we have it. She's all organized, cleaned. This is the most equipment we've ever had in this building, and we have the most room we've ever had in this building. Look at that, twin 1, twin 2. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Now we just got to get the tin in. Sounds like it's supposed to come in next week. Then we'll be able to get started on stuff. But that is all I have for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.